Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another Through the Bible. On this Through the Bible, we're going to do Luke 23, verses 1 through 27. Wipe your glasses off. So, of course, you know what to do. Get your pens, paper, your Bibles. Take notes and just follow along. So, Zahara, let's go ahead and get into this Luke 23 and verse 1.
And the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilate.
All right, and who is this him? This him is Jesus. It says, and the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilate. Who was this? These elders, the people, and the chief priests and scribes, all of those, multitude of them, led him to a heathen, your own brother, one that looked like you. You taking him to a heathen to be done in. Okay, so let's go to verse 2.
Verse 2. I almost forgot I was editing today. And they began to accuse him, saying, we found this fellow perverting the nation and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, saying that he himself is Christ, a king.
And so here they are. They accuse Jesus, saying, this fellow. See
This
here, this
fellow.
man here, he perverting the nation. You know, he leading our people astray, telling them not, and you know what else he doing? He telling them to not to pay taxes to Caesar, saying that he is the king. He is the Messiah. Now what you gonna do about that? See how people are?
Yep.
Ain't nothing changed with our people, even until this day. We still, not we, because I don't have this mindset.
Black people.
They have that mindset. Okay, but let's go to Matthew 22, verse 15 and 21, because they said that he was perverting the nation, or that otherwise he corrupted the people of our nation, telling them to not pay tribute to Caesar. But let's go to Matthew 22, verse 15 and through 21.
Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk.
And see, and this is what people do behind your back. They take counsel together. Girl, call me. We need to talk on the phone. And what they going to be discussing? You. How to take you down. How to trip you up. How they might entangle him in his talk. Okay? So that's just why it's good to control your tongue.
Yes.
And I think Brother Leo was doing it. Be quiet.
Yeah.
He did a lesson on that. Okay, verse 16.
And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men.
And see how they give you this good speech? Yeah, see,
That
you know,
pat on the back.
you true and you teach the way of God and truth. But what was said before is their heart. They want to entangle you.
Entangle.
So all that attaboys, attagirls, just keep that.
So you better be careful when somebody come to sweet you over.
That's
That's
right.
a flag.
We know you don't regard. You ain't got no respect to persons.
Yeah, and what?
That's right. And what? So what's your point?
Because what they hoping is you'll open up and
Yeah,
begin.
you soften them up first, and then. Okay.
Verse 17. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not?
Now remember, we just read that this is what they accuse him of, saying that he is perverting in our nation and telling them to not give tribute to Caesar. But let's see if this be true. Okay, so they ask him, what is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? That's their question. And what was Jesus' response?
18. But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt you me, you hypocrites?
And see, people get upset when you tell them to their face what they are.
You hypocrite.
But Jesus wasn't holding back. Listen, you hypocrites, why are you trying to tempt me? You know that must have ticked them off even worse. He told them to their face what they are. He wasn't trying to pull no punches with them. So all that smooth talk that they were trying to smooth him, you couldn't do that with Jesus. Verse 19.
Shew me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny.
Right, here it is. It's the money. All right.
And he said unto them, whose is this image and superscription?
So who picture on this? Who writing is this on this penny you just showed me? 21.
They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's.
So they were lying.
They lied on Jesus.
They lied, right? That he never once told him not to pay tribute to Caesar. So they lied on Jesus. Okay, because Jesus said, you give Caesar's what Caesar's and give unto God the things that are God's.
Oh, and these are people who claim they keep the law.
Absolutely.
Follow the law. Moses lied.
That's right.
False witness. Bear false witness.
Yes. Yep. And one thing about these law keepers is, see, they use things that they think. I will bring it up to our terms as what they think black people scared of other nations.
Yes.
That's ruling over them.
Yep.
So they always asking you questions. Can they be saved? Can they come in?
Yep.
That's how they do. You know,
Yep.
because they think we stupid, but we ain't stupid. We see you coming a mile away. And they also said that he also said that he himself is Christ, a king, that he was the Messiah and that he was a king. So now let's go to 1 Kings 8. Verse 4 through 5 and verse 7.
It says, and they brought up the ark.
Hold on a minute, I think I'm on the wrong one. Just push it in. First Samuel, I'm sorry.
Samuel. Oh, it's okay.
I'll be reading other books in the Bible, then I
I
wrote
be
it
doing
down.
that too.
And I'm like, that didn't even go with what I was saying. So they say that Jesus said that he was a king. So we're going to look here at First Samuel 8, verse 4 and 5.
Okay. It says, then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah.
And see, the problem has always been our leaders that have been leading our people and trying to make them make certain decisions. So they were our spokesmen and speaking on our behalf wrongly. Verse 5.
And said unto him, behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Okay, verse 7.
And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Now see, this was the first time they rejected Jesus as being their king.
Wow.
And now we see here all the way down in Luke 23, they are still rejecting Jesus as being their king. So we
What a
see,
shame.
and who is it? These leaders.
Yep. And it's always been the leadership of Israel.
Right. They want to be in control so they can be in cahoots with Pilate and Caesar.
Hobnob.
That's right. And steal all the money. Okay. So we're going back to Luke 23 in verse 3.
It says, and Pilate asked him, saying, art thou the king of the Jews? And he answered him and said, Thou sayest it.
So this here go Pilate asking Jesus, so are you the king of the Jews? And he answered him, he said, that's what you said. Now let's go to John 1. In verse 48 and 49.
It says, Nathanael saith unto him, Whence knowest thou me? Before that Philip called thee, when thou was under the fig tree, I saw thee. Nathanael answered and saith unto him, Rabbi, thou art the Son of God, thou art the King of Israel.
But Jesus' response to Nathanael was totally different. Because he told him, you're going to see greater things than these. Because the intent of the heart is different. See, Nathanael saw him as king of Israel, righteousness, holy. This other one, we want to catch you up in something. So Jesus says to Pilate, that's what you said. That is what you said. But yes, Jesus is the king.
He showed
of Israel.
And you better believe it.
Okay.
All right, so back to
Luke 23
verse 4.
and verse 4.
Then said Pilate to the chief priests and to the people, I find no fault in this man.
See there? And Pilate said to the chief priest, y'all, he's telling them and the people, he said, I find no fault in this man. Let us go to John 18 and verse 33 through 38. Because he said, I find no fault in this man. Okay.
It says, Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again, and called Jesus, and said unto him, Art thou the King of the Jews? Jesus answered him, Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me? Pilate answered, Am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done?
Your own people is the one that turned you over to me. You have nothing to do with this. These are the chief priests. They have delivered you over to me. Your own nation of people. They the one have done this. Verse 36.
Jesus answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. Yet I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence.
So Jesus answered this question. He said, my kingdom. And a king has a kingdom.
King is dominion.
Right. And he also said, my servants. Because kings have people that serve them. But he said, but my servants will fight. But see, Jesus, he's spiritual. This little fleshly junk you dealing with, Pilate, he said no. But he said that I should not be delivered to the Jews. So if he was to summon them angels, his servants, and show you that he's a real king, well, none of these Jews could do that.
Right. That's what he's
They
saying.
couldn't prevail over me. But he said, but now is my kingdom not from hence. So my kingdom ain't from this world. It's totally different from what you're dealing with. This is spiritual. Verse 37.
Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice.
All right. So Jesus says, see, you saying that I am a king, but to this end was I born, what? Right here, to die for the sins of Israel. And he said, this is for the cause that I should bear witness unto the truth. And then I like that in look at what he was talking about, that truth in 1 John. I don't think I have it. 1 John 3:18 and 19. What is this truth that he was going to bear witness to? And everyone that is of this truth, he say, they heareth my voice. Okay? So 1 John 3:18 and 19. Sorry, I didn't
that's fine.
put it on your paper.
Okay. It says, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. And hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him.
And see, and what is that? For us to
Love.
Yep, love. We have faith in our God, believing that Jesus is the King of Israel. We have faith in that. And what? That we also would love our brothers and sisters. That's what this truth is. And he came doing that. He bear witness of that truth. And everyone that what is of the truth, they heareth his voice. I believe that.
Like Nathaniel.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's right. And so John 18 and verse 38. Because remember we were dealing, he also said that he told the chief priests and the people back in Luke 23 and 4 that I find no fault in him at all. Okay.
It says, Pilate saith unto him, what is truth? And when he had said this, he went out again unto the Jews, and saith unto them, I find in him no fault at all.
See, and Pilate even went, what is this truth? But John just explained it to us what this truth is. But let's go to Exodus chapter 12 and 5, because he said, Pilate said, I find no fault in this man at all. And if you know a heathen, we always guilty of something.
Yeah.
But with Jesus, he said, I find no fault.
No fault.
So Exodus 12 and 5.
It says, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
See, and your lamb shall be without blemish, without fault, guilty of nothing, sin-free. Him you're going to take. And that's what they did with Jesus. They took him to be what? Crucified. But I just love the way the Lord just already had this thing orchestrated from the beginning.
Out.
Now let's go and look what Peter said in 1 Peter chapter 1.
So basically, that whole thing that was going down with Pilate was the examination of the lamb.
Yes, exactly. We'll read verse 18 and 19 as well in that 1 Peter. So look what Peter says.
It says, forasmuch as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot.
I love this.
Yes, sir.
Because Peter grew in this thing. He understood the spiritual aspect of it. He understood that this redemption of Israel done by Christ, it was through his precious blood. And he was that lamb that was without what? Blemish or without spot. There was no fault in him.
Faultless.
Faultless. All the fault was in us, but he took it upon himself. Yes. Okay. So back to Luke 23 and verse 5.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, it says, and they were the more fierce.
Goodness, they really got upset.
You know how it is really getting. They were the more fierce, saying, he stirreth up the people, teaching throughout all Jewry, beginning from Galilee to this place.
My goodness, they was that much more. They was upset, and they stirred up the people. Cause you know when Israel get crunk, how we get.
Yes.
This one get louder, the other one get louder, and it's a
then
whole
Israel
mess.
start tearing stuff up.
Sure do. Oh my. And what was he doing to get them so upset? Teaching throughout Jewry, beginning from this place. Just think
That's
about
why
that.
we upset.
And see, this is the thing that you Israelites have to understand. These, I'm going to call them black people that we used to call them. These black people that stand before these heathens are not there for your interest.
At all.
They don't want you to be taught nothing. Stay away from the Israel's church. They don't want you to know you're an Israelite. They don't want you to know all that. But they always love to come stand on your behalf. Shut up and sit down. Matthew 4 and verse 23.
And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with divers diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and from Jerusalem, and from Judea, and from beyond Jordan.
And you became the more fierce because you said that Jesus stirred up the people teaching. And so what we read, where he was teaching and preaching in the synagogues, the gospel of the kingdom, he was healing sickness and diseases. You have multitudes following him, and you're upset because Jesus is demonstrating to you what love looks like. When you show love to your own sisters and brothers, but our people are upset. They're upset with Israel's church now. Why? Because we say love. Love is about love. And what? They become the more fierce.
Yep.
Because what you're doing is showing your people this is how you love one another. This is how you love your God. And they don't want that because when you're teaching love, that takes money out their pocket.
Yes.
Why? Because I'm going to be helping my poor sisters and brothers now.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure that they have houses, that they are clothed, that they have food, that their needs are being met.
And I don't want to do that because I want this palace like the chief priest got.
That's right.
I got this palace I'm in.
That's right. I can't ride in my nice cars because they got more than one.
Yep.
If you giving your money to help them poor Negroes. Pray for them and send them on their way. That's what you should be telling them over there at Israel's church. But you said love, take care of each other. No, we don't do that.
Because see, they joined to Babylon at the hip.
That's right. It's so true. Right? Back to Luke 23 and verse 6.
When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man were a Galilean.
Okay. So Pilate want to get out of this. Because later on, you know, when you read well, Pilate wife told him don't have nothing to do with this righteous man. And so Pilate like, send him to Galilee. Send him over there to, is this man a Galilean? And then verse 7, what did he say?
And as soon as he knew that he belonged into Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time.
Oh, just send him over there to Herod.
See, this ain't my district. See that? See, y'all in the wrong.
Yeah, take that over there to Herod.
Yeah, take that to Herod now. He tried to get out of it.
That's right.
That's his division.
Yes. Not mine, that's his. Okay, verse 8.
And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceeding glad, for he was desirous to see him of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him.
See, he wasn't happy just to see him for no reason. He
Yeah.
wanted to see him
I
perform.
want to see
something.
perform.
Like he's some type of entertainer.
Yeah.
You ain't no, you wrong. Let's go to Matthew 14 and 1 and 2. So now, Harold, you got the wrong one. So Matthew 14, verse 1 and 2. So, oh, Harold was just so happy. Ooh, I've been wanting to see Jesus for a long time.
At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus, and said unto his servants, This is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do shew forth themselves in him.
This was not no John the Baptist. It's no reincarnation here, buddy. But you see that Herod heard of the fame of Jesus, so don't think these heathens don't know what what you doing, and what you teaching. They know.
They know all about it. They got it all documented.
Yes. Okay, because Herod knew John the Baptist. Decapitated him, so you should know. So back to Matthew 23 and verse 9.
Then he questioned with him in many words, but he answered him nothing.
You see, just because they ask you something, don't mean you got to answer. Don't say nothing.
You need to answer a thing. I'm like this on my job. Everywhere I go, I'm quiet. In my neighborhood, everything quiet.
Yes,
You don't hear a peep out of me.
that's right. But they always ask you, just tell me, because they want to get a feel, try to feel you out. Got to answer you nothing. Stop running your mouth, Israel. That's why you jiked up now.
Yep.
That's why you
Always
got
talk.
illegals in your neighborhood taking a while, because somebody ran their mouth. Somebody told them what you like and don't like. Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we don't know. We buy this and all that talking. Now look at you messed up. But Jesus, he ain't even answering. Let's look at Matthew 7 and verse 6. What did Jesus say?
Matthew 7 and 6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
You hear that, black women?
Yep.
Stop running your mouth.
Shit.
Especially you. Don't give that which is holy unto dogs, and neither cast you your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. And Jesus didn't give them no ammunition. Whatever you're going to do to me, you're going to do it to me because it come out of you, but I'm not going to give you no ammo. I'm not going to give you an inkling for you to do me in. You're going to do me in on your own accord.
And this is why the wicked press you so hard. You're always so quiet. You never say anything. You should open up more. Be social. Are you antisocial?
Yeah.
No, I'm anti-wicked.
That's right.
Get out of here, sucker.
That's right. Don't answer them.
You should be
nothing.
a walking mystery.
That's right. They just sit there and stare at y'all.
You like, why they keep looking at me? Because they trying to figure out how you work,
Gotta know your every move.
what you like. And they look on your social media, too.
They sure do.
Checking. Trying to see what you're saying, what you
you
looking
doing.
at.
That's right.
You still ain't going to get nothing out of me. You ain't even close.
Nope. Sure right.
And that's why Babylon pushed that. Tell us what's on your mind. You know,
Yes.
just say it. Just
Would you mind taking this
everybody.
survey? No.
No. Get
I
out
don't
of
want
here.
to.
What are your thoughts on this? Ain't now.
That's right.
Write it right on the survey. Ain't now.
They'll be
It
like,
ain't.
what is that? NAM. NAM. That's right. You don't have to tell people everything that's on your mind.
And this has happened to these black people. They cast their pearls before swine. Like these other nations. And look, they've been trampled.
Sure
Trampled
have.
down.
Now you're looking silly. But they done got the info now.
Yeah, child, you know we get free food stamps and everything. You better let EBT. Now they done all found out about it. Now they on it.
That's right. Yep. Told them about your child care. I
Yep,
mean, you just
child care,
laid it
everything.
out.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness, Shaquika.
Yep. And now look,
Silly.
cut you off.
We can learn from the Lord Jesus.
Yes, we can.
This is why it's so important to listen to our God when He telling us, because He's showing us how to behave, how to act, how to walk, how to talk, how to think when you dealing with wicked people.
That's right.
You got to be wise. That's what He told His disciples: be as wise
Says
as
the
a
serpent,
serpent,
but
but
harmless as the dove.
And you see Him doing it, right?
Yep.
And another thing, these heathens with titles, they try to scare you up. See, you get
Yes.
them in front of Pilate and Herod, you know, and black people, they know that. See, yeah, then he'll have to talk. Yeah, see.
Yes.
Then he'll open up, cause we know he'll be scared of that white man, that white woman. Like he's
Yeah.
scared of him. Not Jesus.
He wasn't afraid
Because
of
remember, he told him, fear not the one that can kill the body.
That's
but you
right.
better fear the one that can kill the body and the soul in hell.
That's
Now
right.
that's the one you better fear.
That's right. But our people don't get that. They don't get that, Zahara.
And I've seen Israel. They'll act all tough as soon as they get in front of a heathen.
Yeah. Pouring water out like
And
a
they be
faucet.
taking notes.
Sure do. They be like, and what else? And what else? And what else? Okay, so back to Luke 23 and verse 10.
Verse 10. And the chief priests and scribes stood and vehemently accused him.
My goodness, they vehemently. I mean, when you put emotion into it, you upset.
Yeah.
You want this done, but look at this: the chief priests, these lawgivers, these lawkeepers, who knew about bearing false witness, what they vehemently accused him. But what does Exodus 20 and 16 say? Because surely they knew this.
Because remember, them men was astute in the law.
Yes,
These was no dummies. They knew this book.
that's right.
Exodus 20 and 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
You mean tell me they didn't know that? Of course they did, but they did it anyway.
Because they have no what?
Love.
Love. And that is the
See,
point. We try to get a law keeper to see.
Exactly. But they don't want to receive that. Somehow that four-letter word love is just like it does something to Israel.
Now we know how to love these other nations.
Oh,
Now, that's
man,
beating us up,
perfectly.
whooping our head in. Oh, we know how to love. We don't have to be told.
No.
What is that? How do you do that?
That's right.
Love. We do it on command.
Sure do. Sad. So Luke 23 and verse 11.
And Herod with his men of war set him at naught and mocked him and arrayed him in a gorgeous robe and sent him again to Pilate.
Wow. So it says Herod with his men of war. See, one thing about the heathen, they don't do nothing by themselves. They always got to have some backup.
Yeah.
Because they scary.
To do the dirty work.
But in other words, so here you have Herod and his soldiers. It said they set him a knot, or either they ridiculed, they mocked Jesus. Because remember, Herod wanted Jesus to do some type of miracle. So Herod, in return, he puts a royal robe on Jesus and sent him to Pilate. In other words, you ain't nothing. And you think you're a king too. Put Israel, just mocking the accusation that was laid on Jesus. Doing miracles. They said he said he was a king because, they do this to you.
Yep.
Because you don't entertain them
Yep.
like the rest of the monkeys. They get in front of you and say, yes, boss. You want me to do the miracles? You don't do that. Jesus stood 10 toes and they didn't tell him nothing. But our people gonna learn something here in a little bit.
That's right. Luke 23:12. And the same day, Pilate and Herod were made friends together. For before they were at enmity between themselves.
Nothing like a Israelite to make them come together. But it says the same day Pilate and Herod, they became friends, because before they was hostile toward each other. They were, had some rivalry going on. But like I said, that brings them people together.
Yes.
Especially to do evil. When they get ready to do you in anyway.
Yes.
When they get ready to do Israel in, oh man, they unify.
Yes.
For real. And then on top of that, Herod, in this situation, he probably felt special because Pilate thought enough of him to send Jesus to me, let me judge the situation. But in return, he sends him back to Pilate. So they was unified on this thing. Friends. Because of who? A righteous Israelite.
Wow.
So verse 13.
And Pilate, when he had called together the chief priests and the rulers and the people.
Now look at the leaders of our people. It's just a shame how they are with the heathen against their own. But yet, mind y'all, they say they law keepers. We not talk about people on the streets acting like they thugs and gangsters and twerkers and all that stuff.
And all that we talking about.
You talking about supposed to be righteous law keeper, holy men of God. Supposed to be that, but they are what with the other nations of people against their own. And this is what you got to get in your head, Israel, that these leaders are no good.
Ain't now good but God.
That's right. Verse 14.
Said unto them, you have brought this man unto me as one that perverteth the people. And behold, I, having examined him before you, have found no fault in this man, touching those things whereof you accuse him.
Wow. Now he telling law keepers. This heathen is telling law keepers. He told them, now you done brought this man to me as he is one perverted or corrupting your people. And I examined him before you. And guess what? I don't find no fault in the man. Especially those things that you accusing him of. But let's go back to Exodus 12 in verse 5. Because he was without. We going to read this twice for emphasis.
It says, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
And that's what he's without blemish. Okay? So let's go to, let me see what that was. I'm going to read that 1 Peter 18 and 19. We're going to read that again. Because Jesus...
Which chapter is it?
Did I say 1 Peter? I didn't put it on yours.
Well, it just say 18. It say
Oh,
chapter.
no.
What
1
chapter
Peter.
Is it the first chapter?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18 and 19. And we're going to read this again because this is showing that Christ is our Passover lamb. He's without blemish. He has no sin, no fault found in him.
That's right.
So quit going to the store, I'm sorry, during Passover getting you some lamb and thinking that you're doing a Passover. No, Jesus
is
that Passover. Okay? All right. So 1 Peter 1, 18 and 19. I'm going to read it again.
For as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and spot.
This is how you are redeemed, Israel, with the precious blood of Christ, as a lamb without blemish and without spot, no sin, perfect, no fault. This is how we were redeemed. Okay? Now let's go back to Luke chapter 23 and verse 15.
It says, "No, nor yet Herod, for I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death is done unto him."
And see, Pilate told his chief priests, he said, nah, not even that. Jesus ain't did no wrong. He said, even Herod sent him back to me. You know that joker was a mess. He couldn't even find no wrong in him that he should be put to death. I mean, Pilate really trying to work this thing out, but he don't know this was already predestined.
That's right.
You can't change what's fixing to happen because Jesus has to die for the sins of Israel. Okay, verse 16. Because what Pilate is looking at too, he's looking at something physical. He doesn't see what's happening spiritually. See, and neither did the chief priests
They didn't see it.
and the rest of them. Verse 16.
"I will therefore chastise him and release him."
Pilate said, I'm going to chastise him. I just whip him and then I let him go. Okay. So 17 and 18.
"For of necessity he must release one unto them at the feast. And they cried out all at once, saying, Away with this man, and release unto us Barabbas."
Oh, okay. So let us go to Matthew 27, verse 15 and 16.
It says, "Now at that feast the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner, whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas."
All right. And so this is this point in time. So the governor, he said, I'm going to release to you one prisoner. But what did they all do in verse 18 of Luke 23? They all cried out with a loud voice saying, Away with this man, away with Jesus, and release unto us Barabbas. And I know 19 was added by the translator, but it's still true. So we'll read it.
Okay, yes, ma'am. "For who for a certain sedition made in the city, and for murder was cast into prison."
So they chose Barabbas, a man who incited the people. He actually incited the people of Israel to rebel, and he was a murderer. But there was no fault in Jesus. Jesus was totally opposite. What was he doing? Teaching the people. He wasn't teaching them to rebel. He was teaching the people. He was healing them of sickness and diseases, preaching to them the gospel of the kingdom. But he needed to die because he teaching love.
And if that is not the mind of black people, I don't know what it is. Black people
All the way
always
up
choose
to 2024.
those kind of leaders. They love
Yes.
rotten,
Corrupt.
raunchy, corrupt, evil leaders.
Yes.
But they will destroy the one that come to them to help them, to
That's right.
teach them, to take care of them.
That's right.
That's black people all day.
That's right. And then and this shows you another thing. Israel knows truth from a lie. See, they know when you're real and when you ain't. And look, these chief priests, see, they know Jesus was the real thing.
Yeah.
But they have no problem with Barabbas. Why? Because that same spirit Barabbas had, it was in them
It was
too.
in them. Yep.
It sure was. So Luke 23 and 20.
Pilate, therefore, willing to release Jesus, spake again to them.
So here is Pilate. He tried to talk to them again, saying, wanting them to have him release Jesus. But let's go to Acts 3, and we're going to read verse 1, 13, and 15.
Acts 3 and 1. Now Peter and John went up together unto the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour.
So they're up there in the temple where the law keepers are, where the law keepers reside. Verse 13.
The God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the God of our fathers, have glorified his Son, Jesus, whom you delivered up, and denied him in the presence of Pilate, when he was determined to let him go. But you denied the Holy One and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom God hath raised from the dead, whereof we are witnesses.
You see what Peter was saying? He laid all this out to the law keepers. I noticed they still coming to Sabbath class.
Yep, still showing up.
Knowing they done all this evil. But yet they keep it law. But Peter laid them out. Okay, so let's go back to Luke 23 and verse 21.
It says, but they cried, saying, Crucify him, crucify him.
Wow. They cry with a loud voice, put him to death. Put him to death. We want him crucified. We want him dead. Just think about that. Let that sink in. Okay, verse 22.
And he said unto them the third time, Why, what evil hath he done? I have found no cause of death in him. I will therefore chastise him and let him go.
3 times. Pilate said, why? What evil hath he done? And sometimes on your job, you be like, what evil?
Yes, yes.
What is it that I have done to you?
Yes. Yep.
They be like, I don't care. I ain't found no, but I want you gone. I can't stand you, you love of God and you love of your own people. Think I can't see your light over there shining? I want you gone.
Enough that.
And this is what they wanted Jesus. They wanted him dead. Why? What evil has he done? And we know it said there's no fault in him.
No, because he did what was right.
That's right. So don't think you're going to do what's right. And these people just want to see you just walking around, no light shining. No, they don't want, they want your light snuffed out.
Yes.
Literally. Okay, so verse 23.
And they were instant with loud voices, requiring that he might be crucified. And the voices of them and of the chief priests prevailed.
So Israel got crunk with it. I mean, we straight fight mode.
Yep.
Along with the chief priest, these law keepers. And I'm emphasizing that law keeper thing because this is what these chief priests, their voices prevailed that they wanted Jesus dead. A man that they could find no fault in. They said, what? We want him dead.
And the law says there too, thou shalt not kill.
That's right.
It's murder.
Right. And didn't Jesus tell you that the servant ain't greater than the master? So why you think you ain't gonna get the same feelings
escape
and things done to you that's done happened to him? And you be like, wow, man, I ain't done nothing. But neither did he. But they still put him to death.
See, you did do something. You lived right.
That's right.
And they can't handle it because they wicked.
That's right.
You know, the Lord talked about that they hated that light. They couldn't take it, see, because they're of the darkness.
That's right.
And see, the stuff you do, it exposed me. You didn't do it directly. It's just you being you.
Yep.
It convicts me.
That's right.
It smite me in my spirit. It's bitter when I see you because it reminds me. Because instead of the letter of the law, you're the living law.
And they hate it.
You're the law that they can read every time they see you.
Yes.
We got to get rid of you.
That's right. So
We
true.
don't want no light in here. We want it dark.
That's
Turn
right.
the light out.
That's right. Let our deeds be exposed. That's right. Okay, verse 24.
And Pilate gave sentence that it should be as they required.
So Pilate went on ahead and granted their decision to crucify or to murder, put to death our Messiah. Went ahead and gave what they wanted. Verse 25.
Because I think in another account, remember it said, they said, well, you be no friend
It
to
was Caesar. Oh,
he
yeah,
said.
he quickly. They sure did.
25. And he released unto them him that for sedition and murder was cast into prison, whom they had desired, but he delivered Jesus to their will.
So they released unto them, or they released Barabbas, a murderer,
Wow.
a rebel, and they delivered up Jesus. But it's just like you said, our people, they choose leaders or people like this today. These are the people that they love to follow. You are evil for teaching love.
Yes.
You over here teaching us how to be disciplined. How dare you?
Yeah.
They don't
Sure
want
do.
you as a leader.
Fight with you, argue with you, cuss you out,
Yep,
send you nasty emails. They do it all.
yep, that's right. Telling you perverting, corrupting Israel, teaching that love doctrine. That's what they accused Jesus of. And his teaching was nothing close to corruption,
I mean, at
perversion.
all. It was against what they taught. That's
That's
why
right.
they didn't like it. Because see, if you teaching that over there, then these people that you teaching that we're exploiting, we won't be able to exploit them.
That's
no more.
right. That's right.
And I need to exploit them because hey, I got bills to pay.
That's right.
I got a palace to maintain.
That's right. I got more churches I need to build. That's right.
And so that's what they're looking at. But I want to say here
Yes, go ahead.
that Barabbas represents the people of Israel who were sinners. And
Yes.
so instead of you dying, Jesus died in your place. So
That's
instead of
right.
Barabbas, see, Barabbas represented Israel. And so Israel gets to go free. It kind of reminds me of that scapegoat.
Yeah.
You know, what was that, Leviticus? So instead of you, the sins, your sins, that thing that, because see, they accused him of that pretty much, sedition and everything like
Yeah.
that. So it's just like the Lord took that on, and I'm going to die in your place.
Yes.
And you're going to go free.
Yep. Sure did.
The way the Lord laid this thing out, man,
It's
is,
perfect.
I mean, perfect. Verse 26.
Yes.
And as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country. And on him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Jesus.
Yo, so now here it is. They led Jesus away, and they laid upon him one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country. And on them they laid the cross, that he may bear it. Let's go to Acts chapter 2. Because this just wasn't some random, he just happened to be passed by. But let's go to Acts 2, 5 and verse 10.
It says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Verse
10. Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene.
So just like this Cyrenian that just happened to be in the country. So could Simon the Cyrenian have been there for the Passover?
He was there
because
for
he
the
was one of them
Passover.
Jews
Yep.
that was coming out of every nation. Yes. Let's go to Galatians chapter 6 and verse 2.
Some good eating. It says, "Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ."
And even in this death of Christ, he's showing you how to bear one another's burdens. Because this thing that Israel takes you through as being their leader, you can't carry this thing by yourself. Didn't Moses' father-in-law
Yeah, I
tell
was
him?
just finna say that.
Moses, this thing is too great for you. You're going to need some help.
Cause they're gonna break you down after a while.
Yep. Okay. And so that he might bear it after Jesus. So, verse 27 back in Luke 23.
It says, "And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him."
Yes, because, I don't know about y'all sisters, but boy, this is a tough thing to see.
Yes.
Your brother going through something like this.
Knowing it was unjust.
But let's go and look at these women in Mark 15, verse 40 and 41.
Mark. Okay. It says, "There were also women looking on afar off, among whom was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James the Less, and of Joses, and Shalom, who also, when he was in Galilee, followed him and ministered unto him, and many other women which came up with him unto Jerusalem."
So we see these was righteous sisters here that followed him and seeing Jesus, and it says, and there followed him a great company of people and of women.
Women.
Where are women at like this? They wasn't following Barabbas, a rebel and a murderer. No, but they were following Jesus, a righteous man. And they bewailed and lamented him. They was crying. They was upset to see him go through that. You know,
Wow.
he was their leader, was their king. He did a lot for them. He took care of his people. He showed them love, especially Mary Magdalene, because she about to get stoned.
Yeah.
It was all she wrote for her. But
And I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I remember our ancestors, they had hollered out, "Let his blood be upon us and all our children," saying that foolishness. And so what do we see even down to 2024? Our Israelite men get killed, who are out there crying and wailing?
our women,
The women.
yep, sure is. Yep.
So you gotta be careful. Israel got that big mouth. Black people shut up.
Yes.
We always saying things that we ought not.
That's right. Sure is. Yeah.
Always choosing the wrong thing. Always making bad decisions. Because you're thinking about yourself. No, the
Yes.
decisions you make, the things you say, it affects all of us.
That's right. And so, and that's one thing that our people don't get, especially our women. We see what the heathens were doing to our men. We just like these women. We watched them. We watched them suffer. Them
That's
not want
right.
to give them jobs, but in order for me to get what this heathen got, I got to do my man in. But when I look and say, no, I'm his wife. He is the father of my children. But see, that's when faith comes in right there. When you tell that he can get going with his goods or whatever, his stamps and all that he tricked our women with. And now we want to be boss bees and level up and all this. But not our sisters here.
That's right.
We see what our men go through, and for some reason we feel like we not a slave as black women, and we this up here, and our men should be 6 figures and have all this and be able to listen. You are a slave, just like he is a slave. We are captives in this together.
Because they listening to massa, watching TV and movies and listening to this music, make them feel like they've arrived.
Yes.
Baby, you are not a slave.
Yep.
Okay, you're right up here with me.
Yes. That's
But
right.
your silly behind don't know you are a slave.
Yep.
And trust me, like on my job, I see it, boy.
Yes. Oh, it just irks your soul.
That same black woman that thinks she bossing and leveling up, I'm telling you. They be right out there with the brothers. They have them laboring.
That's right.
I mean, it is heartbreaking. You see their faces when they coming in. They know, hey, I'm finna get worked.
That's right.
But they told you out there, you was just, you a free woman.
That's
do what
right.
you want to do. You don't need a man.
That's right.
You are independent. Yeah,
That's right.
independent to work in this field. This concrete plantation.
That's right.
Laboring.
Yeah.
You've been gamed, you've been got, you've been bamboozled and hoodwinked.
Yes. That's right.
Because you've been given a few trinkets.
Yeah. Yep. Sure have. Just don't
In
get
bad shape.
bad shapes of heart. But guess what? Jesus' answer gonna be picked up in 23 and 28.
So,
Yep. All right, Zahara, that's all I have. You have anything else you want?
no ma'am, I thought that was pretty good.
All right, family.
Yeah, that.
With that said, we will say
Shalom.